Hello, welcome to the Silverstone Festival. You guys might know it as the Silverstone Classic, but same thing. For some reason, somehow, I find myself here driving. So yes, the Silverstone Festival, outside of Goodwood, probably one of the biggest classic car meetings in the UK. So you guys might know in the past, I've done a couple of videos with my good friend, Alex Brundle, and against his, I say, better judgment, I am now driving today his very lovely 65 Ford Mustang. About 460 horsepower, 4-speed gearbox and leaf springs at the back. So basically every corner is sideways. It's a ton of fun, and just driving it is amazing. Racing it is going to be a whole different ballgame. We're driving in the Pre-66 touring car series, which is host to all sorts of awesome cars, minis, Cortinas, massive Ford Falcons, and of course Ford Mustangs. And yesterday we had to qualify on a circuit full of nearly 60 cars. Here's how it went.
41 now. Well, that is the car built by Alex Brundle. It's the Adrian Flux livery on it. And
the Mustang.
The Mustang, indeed.
So, time for qualifying, which was actually pretty simple. The fastest lap time set by either driver dictates our position on the grid. And given there were over 50 cars taking part in this session, track position was vital.
So Jimmy Broadbent and Jan Martinborough setting the first fastest laps. I'm guessing that's possibly Jan Martinborough. He's ahead of Nigel Greensell and Andy Prio. A couple of cars in the pits, so whoever started, either Jimmy Broadbent or Jan Martinborough, handing over to their co-driver. Likewise in 198. It will be perhaps a little surprise to you that lots and lots of online fans are going absolutely mental about the Jimmy Broadbent Jan Martinborough car.
Equally as vital was getting up to speed quickly. This was actually the first time that either myself or Jan had driven the car in months.
Jimmy Broadbent, Jan Martinborough in second place. Starting from the front row of the grid would not be a bad place for them to be. And everybody coming across the line now, taking the checkered flag. So the Mustang, Jimmy Broadbent and Jan Martinborough, front row of the grid. That's not bad. That is not bad.
So yeah, somehow, P2, amazing lap from Jan. I think just showing why he's got a movie made about him, really, hasn't he? So we're starting on the front row of the grid. Our race is a bit later on today, so we're going to get prepared for that. But I think until then, we're going to go just look around the festival because there are so many amazing cars here. I think it would be criminal not to take advantage of it. So just over there is apparently a collection, or the biggest collection, of Senna's race cars that has ever been together in the same place at one time. So I'm gonna go see if I can touch any of them before a big burly man comes and breaks my arms. So I've seen this one at the end, it's one with the 15 on it. That's sort of like a more famous one. Kind of interesting that cars haven't really changed that much over the years. They've just become a little bit bulkier, if anything.
They're so slim, aren't they?
They just built different back in the day. They're smaller and a bit more agile. Modern Formula cars now are like long and just all about high speed cornering. They can't do anything in the low speed. These are very different like that. Alex's dad, Martin, of course, race Senna in these F3 cars sort of behind us, and of course in F1 as well. It's weird to think there's like a connection there.
Senna's butt was in these cars. Oh, hey.
Sounds like it's down the cylinder, to be honest. But look at the crowd this draws. Crazy. So many people here to watch this. Jimmy, pick one. This one. 100%. I mean, if I wanted to die quickly, I'd drive this car. 100%.
These ones have got the ahooga eyes.
Annie, pick one.
Okay, I like the little guy over there, the little, oh no, the yellow one.
God, I can't believe this. 1 of 1 in the paddock. All seriousness, I actually really like these cars. I think they're really cool. I'm always attracted to this sort of car in a car park, but yeah, maybe it doesn't quite fit the bill here. 50 quid, I'll buy this. I love that 50 quid.
God's sake.
That'd be the best car ever.
It works better than any car we have at home.
Shut up.
I love it. I've always been interested in these types of cars. It's very manual, everything's mechanical. You have such an input on the car's behaviour. It's sliding around. You can't really say to your engineer, I've got a little bit of understeer here, -1 out of 5. It's like, well, the thing is either -5 or it's plus 10 on the corner exit.
There was one moment where I had a big slide. I was like,
like just watching the video back, like first is like there.
Yeah.
It's such a nice like. Oh, I feel like I'm doing shit.
No.
I'm making a cake.
Jan is going to start, then Jimmy is going to drive the pro stint at the end.
yeah, exactly. I'm the anchor. You know, I mean, Jan's done a little bit of racing, but not as much as me. So you know, I want fastest Mustang. We're fastest Mustang out there. I want that. That's the thing I want. Yeah.
That's tough because you know the next 4 cars behind you on the grid are all Mustangs.
Yeah.
So there's one Falcon that's a really fast one. That's got the BTCC driver Sam Tordoff in it. There's a Mustang with Andy Prio in it. I think Guy Smith, ex-Bentley Le Mans guy, is in something decent as well. So it's a solid grid.
It's been pretty outclassed.
No. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to watch on my blow-up sofa behind a pillow, and I'm looking forward to watching my boys get the job done.
Time to go to the assembly area now. This car sounds so good. I wish you guys could smell it too. My life is being shortened drastically with the fumes coming from that thing, but we don't care in this paddock. So basically we've finally been found by Ed, who is the tallest man in existence. I was saying to Annie, I really hope we don't do well because he'll interview us. And it's going to be like him talking to her like a child.
Jimmy, Jan, it's a cracking effort in qualifying to be up on the front row of this grid. Some seasoned racers in here. I've got to ask, who set the pole time?
I'd like to say me, but it wasn't. It was Jan over here.
And Jimmy, Alex, it's obviously Alex Brundle's car, this. I take it you trust his handiwork?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, he's standing right behind me now, so yes, I definitely trust his handiwork. No, this car's been great. I mean, I've never driven anything sort of this old before. And jump in it, and within 3 or 4 laps, you're just comfortable. You know, as Jan was saying, these tyres are quite unique to drive, but the way they move around, it talks to you. You understand what it's doing. It doesn't just suddenly snap. So yeah, the car's beautiful. Big fan of it. So yeah, that's done the whole lot now. Pre-race interview. Jan's getting in the car. He's going to start, and I just want to make sure it's just fun. You know, it's one of those things where you can take it too seriously, get a bit too intense about it, but at the end of the day, it's just about doing as good a job as possible as we can for Alex. And for Brundle Motorsport. You know.
That is Jan Mardenborough starting the race. Jimmy Broadbent will take over at the midway point. Then John Spears on the inside of row 2 with John Davidson alongside him in the red and gold Alan Mann Racing liveried Mustang. So a massive field of cars. Alistair Douglas, 53 pre-66 touring cars. The grids now are just getting beyond all recognition in terms of size, quality and quantity. The Pure Michigan Mustang Celebration Trophy Race is underway here at Silverstone. The lights go out and away we go. 53 cars charged down to the, well, some of them are charging out the final corner. They're charged down to the first corner eventually when they get there. Sam Tordoff taking the lead. Right behind him is Jan Mardenborough. No, there's Mardenborough on the right-hand side. We've got a Mustang off in the gravel. Mardenborough carried a little bit too much speed and went off. There's a Cortina off as well, and that means that's John Spears, the blue Mustang, in second place. The red 63 car with the gold roof, John Davidson in third. Mardenborough comes back on in fourth, and just ahead of Michael Whittaker Jr., I think. And where's Andy Prio got to? He's not too far behind, but didn't get the cleanest of starts. It was a little bit of argy-bargy in the first couple of corners. Alistair Douglas, this is going to take a while for them to sort themselves out. Just look at this massive, fast-moving metal.
Yes, the yellow Mustang of Alex Taylor did get shuffled out a little. The Falcon number 10 at the back of that leading group is Tom Sharp. He's driving solo, and he's right behind the Mustang, which, as you mentioned, has been started by Jan Mardenborough, who's been racing in GT cars for many years, and as he said, not used to these cars that don't stop and don't turn.
Jan dropped a place at the start. They went a bit wide at T1, maybe some oil down or something, but still in P3. I've been told to get ready just in case it's a safety car or anything, which makes perfect sense. It happens around here, it can happen. So just going to get ready and hopefully have the car in a good position.
worry about that. Honestly, mate, just look forwards, drive forwards, do your best laps. That's all you need to do.
Jan Mardenborough with quite a lot of understeer there in the third place Mustang, car number 41. Not hanging the tail out as much. Again, a little bit more of a single-seater driver maybe, trying to get the front to turn in rather than abandoning the steering and just pitching it at the corner. That group behind are lapping in the 2-minute 30s. The lead group here, Sam Tordoff, last lap, 2-minute 28.6, 2-minute 28.4 for Nigel Greensall, and Jan Mardenborough being very athletic in the background, trying to get round traffic and losing the battle of adhesion, 228.7, but he's dropped back a little fraction.
So Jan was doing great, holding a consistent third place, but I've got to say, I was feeling pretty nervous in the pits. Now, I'm not really quite sure why. I think that in my head that the crowds were getting bigger, I could swear, every time I looked at them. And that other knowledge of a live stream and how much Alex loved the car and all those things, you think about that before you get in to drive. So I did my best to turn off the internal yapping and got ready for my stint.
Race leader then Sam Tordoff. Nigel Greensall still in second place. Jan Mardenborough dropping away 3.7 seconds back now. And they're all lapping at roughly the same pace. Tordoff just a whisker under 2 minutes 29. Greensall bang on 2 minutes 29. And Mardenborough a whisker over 2 minutes 29 last time round. Sam Tordoff, the race leader, in the pits. Nigel Greensall stays out. In comes the car from second and the car from third. So Jan Mardenborough to hand over to Jimmy Broadbent will run round.
Oh, that was so much fun. It's quite busy, lots of hands movements, and got a bit spooked at one. There was a blue car in third where I was covering, and then as I turned in, he's still there. I'm like, it ain't my car. So I went straight, went down to fifth, and then regained back to third.
Out goes the car that was in second with Nigel Greensall. John Spears now at the wheel, the darker blue of the Mustangs, and then the metallic blue Adrian Flux liveried Brustang. The Brundle Mustang comes out, and that will have the Jimmer at the wheel, Jimmy Broadbent. With Sam Tordoff, and that is the Brustang. So that is Jimmy Broadbent right behind Sam Tordoff. And so Nigel Greensall and John Spears' Mustang is
well ahead of them. Because of the additional time in the pits, because Sam Tordoff is an elite driver.
So despite what I think is a decent start to my stint, I just didn't quite have the pace compared to some of the cars around me. The Falcon from behind absolutely rocketing past down the straight. And I did that thing that everyone always does whenever they start to lose a little bit of time. You try a bit too hard. And whilst these fat off big power slides look and sound pretty cool, they're not actually very fast. So
here comes Sam Tordoff and Jimmy Broadbent.
And Julian Thomas also back in the mix as well, because it's him in the back of the shot there as they came on to, was it Hangar Straight they were coming on to? Yes, it was. So he's come back in the mix as well.
Well, he's an owner driver as well, isn't he? So he's definitely what you would not consider as a pro driver, whereas Sam Tordoff, ex-British touring car ace, and the likes of Nigel Greensall, Jan Mardenborough, they are very much top flight drivers. With our lead battle. There are yellow flags at the beginning of the lap, but not here. And this is Sam Tordoff all over the back of John Spears for the lead. It was down from 7.2 to 5 seconds at the beginning of this lap. That's not 5 seconds, that's a change of the lead on the Hanger Straight. Sam Tordoff goes by John Spears. The Flying Falcon sprints by. So who is going to finish on the podium? Jimmy Broadbent, 4.3 behind John Spears. Behind him is Julian Thomas. 2.7 behind him is car number 63, John Davison. So that could all close up. Here's Julian Thomas all over the back of John Spears, and right with him is Jimmy Broadbent. So this is second, third and fourth. Pocket handkerchief time here. Two Mustangs with a Falcon in between. The Mercury Cyclone Comet coming towards us. Not quite as quick as the similar framed Falcon Sprint. Comes from the same family. Mercury, a sub-brand of Ford. Slightly different. Is it a J-body? I'm venturing a little bit out of my depth here now, but slightly different machinery. Possibly not as well developed as this Falcon and these Mustangs are. Chatted a lot to Alex Brundle about building his car, and he said essentially you start with a Mustang body shell, you take everything off it and nothing Mustang goes back on. It is all pretty much purpose-built. Final 3 minutes 45 seconds. Here comes the challenge for Julian Thomas down the straight. Falcon can't quite squeeze inside, but John Spears braked late and offline, and through goes Julian Thomas. And there's the opportunity for Jimmy Broadbent as well.
That blue car in front, that is third position and the current highest placed Mustang. That's where we want to be. And I could see that I was catching. So I decided that I'm going to get past this guy no matter what it takes.
And the same rules apply in real life racing as do in sim racing, of course, where Jimmy Broadbent's got so much experience and so much success, and he goes around the outside. You see him really working the steering of that Mustang. That's a great move. Don't forget, this guy is a relatively inexperienced real-life race driver.
So here's the pass again. I focus on getting a better exit out of the last corner, which helps me draw alongside the blue Mustang. And I must confess, I was thinking, is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Let's do it anyway. Somehow make the car stick around the outside and up into third place, back on the podium and back to being the lead Mustang. And I must admit that I did have to kind of tell myself to calm down a bit after that.
Oh, you absolute baller.
Jimmy Broadbent ahead of John Spears and just starting to creep away. And in fact, the more he can do now and leave John Spears to hold up John Davison behind him in the Alaman Racing livery car, the red and gold Mustang, the better it'll be. There's Julian Thomas. And Thomas with a Mini attached to his back bumper. I think Mini drivers probably ought to just carry a bungee with them, and when a big car goes by, just hook on and hope nobody notices. Minute to go, so this will be the final lap. Sam Tordoff is already starting it. Julian Thomas in second will start his final lap in a moment or two. Then Jimmy Broadbent in third, and then this battle, John Spears and John Davison.
John Davison looking to go up the inside at the loop, but John Spears holds the line through there as they go out through Aintree onto the Wellington Straight, both using slightly more track than was intended. Jimmy Broadbent starting to disappear into the distance. Great drive from him and Jan Mardenborough. Jimmy raced in the Praga Cup, which is a sort of a sports car style one-make championship for a couple of years and won it. So he's got some experience, but as you say, relatively inexperienced.
Yeah, something with slicks and a bit of downforce.
Yes.
Neither of which are present on the Mustang.
Did you see that overtake? Oh my god, let's go. Insane.
So there's no mistakes on the way to the checkered flag. Qualified the car on pole position ahead of all his rivals. He was 1.3 seconds clear of them, and he wins in Silverstone. And it should be a Falcon 1-2, it will be, but not by much. And there's going to be a sort out. Second place does just go to Julian Thomas ahead of Jimmy Broadbent. Sam Tordoff, the winner. Julian Thomas makes it a Ford Falcon Sprint 1-2 ahead of a sea of Mustangs in the Pure Michigan Mustang Celebration Trophy. It is Jimmy Broadbent and Jan Mardenborough, the digital gamers turned drivers, who uphold the honour of the Ford Mustang. Well, if that doesn't win them holidays to Michigan, I don't know what will.
Mate, I'm so stoked. That could not have gone better. If you offered me that before the weekend, I wouldn't have believed you, let alone dreamed of it. So that's brilliant. Mate, honestly, that's such a tough grid. It's like, you know, proper world-class level of racing just in really old cars. So it's exactly what we wanted to do, and we've done it.
I don't know what to say. I'm pumped after that. So close to P2 in the end. He made a couple of mistakes, like I can do it. And I just went a bit too hot into the last corner and just didn't get the run out. But to finish third, and I think is what is probably the most competitive series in this festival, is amazing. Also, I think I made the move of my fucking life around the outside of the farm. I don't want to say. That was amazing. I love that so much. I think that was a pretty successful race for us. Third place, fastest Mustang. Did you expect this, Mr. Mustang Wrangler, Mr.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
No, I thought genuinely when we entered the weekend, I thought if you got it in the top 5, that'd be amazing in that grid, just with where we are with everything, and you never know what turns up to these. After qualifying, I was like, I was optimistic, and then after the first stint, I thought, it's on here. You impressed me at the end. You impressed me with your recovery at the start, so super impressed. Thank you both.
Welcome.
Been a brilliant experience having you both in the team.
How do you find it, Jan?
I loved it. Your overtake into turn 1. Like we were watching on the TV, and we're like, don't do a me at turn 1, please, just don't go off. And you made it sick. We're like, yeah, cool. So yeah, you did the move for P3, so thank you for that.
Thank you, man. But yeah, I think that's it for now.
There's one
Goodbye.
thing. There's one thing, because I believe I made a promise to you.
I didn't know that was real.
I made a promise to him. Unfortunately, you weren't there when I made the promise. You didn't get the promise.
I was abroad.
I made the promise that if you finished in the top 5, which by my reckoning, I counted them through, and you did.
Yeah, I think we did, yeah.
You get a run in the GT40 on track, which I shall make happen.
Well, there you go. Amazing. Thank you very much for that, and we're definitely going to hold him to that now because it's on camera and he can't take it back. Nothing else to say apart from, let's go.